Aries! Welcome back to my channel. It's JJ here to give you your December forecast. So before I do that, I just want to say thank you so much to all my wonderful new subscribers and viewers. It's been a heck of a ride, and it's only been less than a month for me here on YouTube. So thank you so much for all your support. It means the world to me. All your feedback has been really valuable as well, and I'm growing and I'm learning more day by day. The more comments I get, even from all the thumbs ups and all the thumbs downs, positive and negative feedback, it all counts. So thank you so much for taking the time. So, in case a few of you have tuned in to the last couple of videos I did, I've started doing things a little bit differently this month because I'm still experimenting with different spreads. This month I started off with a Celtic cross, so I'm going to continue this for the rest of the zodiac. And I'd like to assess whether or not you prefer things how they were before, how I did them mid-November, or if you would like to see a Celtic cross spread again also in the future, then maybe we can alternate between the two. So you guys, I haven't shuffled. I'm going to start shuffling. It's a more structured spread, so I rely less on cards that pop out and more on the positions of the cards and what they mean depending on the position they fall in. If a card pops out, though, of course we're going to listen. So a few things about your sign and the fact that Uranus, sorry, that's what she said. Uranus is retrograde right now in your sign. So I wouldn't be so shocked if you guys are experiencing some frustration as a result of setbacks and delays. With most retrogrades, when a retrograde occurs, whether that's Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde, or Uranus retrograde, basically, it's more of a time of reflection and less of a time of starting something new and moving forward with new things. It's a time to purge and get rid of all the old situations and to figure out basically what doesn't work anymore in your life and to eliminate that. So Aries, you guys being you're a self-starting sign, so you usually really like to take the bull by the horns and just to go for things full force, like you are gods and goddesses of war, as I said this previously. This is probably not going to be as much of a fast forward moving month as you might like it. And that's what I'm going to say about that. So if I can offer a bit of advice just simply based on that alone, I would say that there might be a need to be a bit more patient and to temper yourselves, because everything around you might be moving a bit too slowly. People might not be moving as fast as you want them to, and that can piss a few of you guys off. So, guys, it is going to be a bit of a slow month for everyone anyway, come the time that we have to, get ready for Christmas and New Year's. Fast in some ways and slow in other ways. Business might decrease, unless, of course, you're in the business of Christmas decorations or gift shopping. But it will slow down for some of you guys who will have an opportunity to take a much needed break, much needed rest, and just spend more time with family and friends. And who doesn't enjoy doing that? Okay, as soon as I get to a flow I feel is more for my fellow Aries, I will start to lay out the cards. And we're getting there. But I don't like to rush in this case. And even though you're such a fiery sign, you have so much energy and so much force, and even sometimes a bit too much rage and a bit too much anger, I was rather calm when I was meditating on your sign earlier. Calm because I feel like now you guys are in more of a contemplative state, a state of self-reflection, even a state of self-absorption, to be honest, where you're thinking more about yourselves and less about the people around you. That can also mean that you're slightly apathetic, so not feeling too much and just approaching things from a more neutral standpoint or from a more selfish standpoint. Okay, we're definitely getting there. We definitely have a flow going. The cards are meshing. So that's nice. Okay, I'm just gonna divide them into 3, split them up into 3. Don't think we're gonna see any reversals. It's not looking like that. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys the cards as much as I can. We have a central issue. We have a card to cross and challenge that issue. A mental card, mental thought cards. We have a foundation card, and basically the foundation upon which this central issue rests. And it can also be the foundation that comes to the reading on a more unconscious level. A past card, so this is what has already occurred or what you might be coming out of. A more immediate future outcome card, the 1 out of 2, because there will be 2 in this particular spread. And I'll begin to lay out your staff spread here. So in your staff spread, there is how you present yourselves to the reading, how you currently are, what is in your environment, your hopes or your fears, because this can play out differently for different people. Again, we're reading for a collective, so it's really difficult to say it, and it's not rational, and it's not reasonable for me to say that you're all hoping the same thing, or you're all fearing the same thing, or you're all feeling the same way. So I'm going to try and develop as many storylines as I can with this. And you have an overall outcome card here. We'll draw additional cards for further clarification if that is needed. Okay. Your central issue here pertains to the moon. So when I get the moon, I have to think about anxiety. I have to think about uncertainties, fear of the unknown, fear of moving from one phase of life to the next or one situation to the next as a result of not knowing everything that there is to know, like having all the information in front of you in order for you to make a more ordered and structured, reasonable plan. And I know that you guys, Aries, you tend to be structured and ordered, and you like to have reason in your lives, and you like to justify all that happens. You are emperors, and emperors don't take decisions without, like, they prefer to take decisions naturally when they have all the facts there. And that's because you usually tend to have the interest of everyone around you in mind, even though you can be self-centric, you can be involved more with yourselves and more with your own needs. When you get the moon, it suggests that there might be certain secrets, it's fear of the unknown, basically. The moon is also more of a mental card, though, so just because you're feeling this way or you're thinking in this manner and experiencing some anxiety doesn't necessarily mean that that's as a result of what's happening around you. It can really slowly be coming from you because things are slowing down right now. There are some setbacks and some delays. So your challenge is temporary. And I thought that there weren't going to be any reversals, and I was wrong. your challenge here is Temperance in reverse. And Temperance is that card that basically says, when it's in the upright, that there is a need, or, you know, it's a time to be patient. It is a time where organizing things and, you know, making sure that there's a good balance between things is emphasized when Temperance comes out. So for the mere fact that it's in the reverse here suggests to me that you guys are not being very patient right now. You guys want things to move as fast as they usually do. And like I said, you know, whether it's because as a result of the holiday season coming in and things are naturally gonna slow down a little bit, there's more focus on rest. Planet Uranus being retrograde is not helping with the situation at all. When Uranus is retrograde, unfortunately, things do slow down, and it's not usually how you like it. I just want to take a closer look here to make sure I'm not missing anything. This can also suggest that, you know, if you're feeling slightly anxious right now and you don't have all the facts straight, it can be because you're getting a lot of mixed signals, confusing signals coming from different people or different partners, if we're talking about business here. And there can be competing influences, and your challenge, therefore, with the Temperance being in reverse here, is not only to be patient, but it is also to try and sort out the differences and the similarities in these competing influences that are coming in, these competing contracts, these competing, you know, combinations of things, can be combinations of personalities as well. Maybe you're not getting along as nicely as you would like to with certain business partners or certain people in your lives, you know, personal relationships. So patience is the key here. And trying to remove yourself and be a bit more objective will also help with this. If you try to dissociate your emotion and try to, you know, forget about the fact that you don't know it all right now and try to work with the information that you have. Okay. You guys have showed up in your own reading here. And your foundation is the Emperor. A reasonable person. A person who appreciates and values structure and order and rules. And you coming to this reading as yourselves suggests that you are being your typical Aries nature, regardless of all these competing influences coming in right now, regardless of the fact that everything happening around in your environment might not be moving as fast as you would like. You're sticking to your guns here. You refuse basically to back down from being in this typical Emperor state. Now that can be both good and it can also be bad. It can be bad because we don't always have full control of the situation, unfortunately. Even if it's usually how you operate and you're at your best is when you have full control of the situation. This is how you're coming to the reading. And in your mind remaining optimistic, because the Emperor should be optimistic. That is how you end up achieving your goals. With the Star being in your mental thoughts, you are not backing down. You believe that your approach and being your assertive self, will lead to the best of results. Despite having opposing forces right now. So wow, you guys, I commend you for this. I commend you for being your typical strong selves. The Four of Pentacles here being in the past position is reinforcing this Emperor card. It's reinforcing it because this person definitely has a strong grasp of what it is that they own and what it is that they have at work and in their own personal relationships, their monetary situation as well. They know exactly what it is that's going on. They've structured themselves. They know what's going on in their mental thoughts. There's not a lot of confusion there. They know what's happening in their heart. Not a lot of confusion there. They know what it is that they can rely on, what they can rest on. They know their foundation pretty solidly and very strong. So Aries, I mean, even though this is an earth element, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, the Four of Pentacles usually reinforces the beliefs that the Emperor has. Okay, that's in your past position. And in the more immediate future, it seems like you're going to continue with this trend. However, you might be backing away slightly, because instead of holding to your guns here with 4 pentacles, you're doing so with 1. You're doing so with a fresh perspective. And actually, this would be wise. It would be wise to kind of look at things from a new perspective and a fresh perspective, because we are coming into a new year now, and that means that, and it is a very good time with retrograde to basically let go of the things that were not working out very well. So even if things were extremely structured for you, the same structure, if you hold on to this for too long, gets a bit stale, it gets a bit stagnant, and a new approach is often needed, especially if some of you are dealing with new clients who might not necessarily share the same beliefs that you do. The Page of Pentacles here is someone who's saying, okay, I'm willing to reevaluate and study the situation again with new, approaching things from a new filter, with a new lens. And it's feeling a bit more youthful again doing this. Pages also can mean messages coming in, new messages coming in that will influence you to do this. All in a very positive manner though, because you have the Star card here, which is also the sign of Aquarius, crowning you in your mental thoughts and in your mind, which also hopefully alleviates any stress you may be experiencing with this Moon card here being the central issue. Okay, you guys, this is not so nice. This is quite confusing, because this is supposed to be you right now. This is in your foundation, yes, the Emperor, Aries being an Aries foundation. But right now, this is how you're feeling, or it is a very mental card as well, but this is the attitude that, that is harnessing you at the moment. And this is a card of like despair and betrayal and being stabbed in the back and basically feeling like you can't move on. Well, this person definitely can't move on from their current situation. They're just stuck there in a rut. It's like no matter how much they try, they have nowhere to go. They're pretty much dead on this shore here as a result of, well, what is it? That's what I would like to know, actually. Is it all these opposing influences and all these opposing forces that are challenging you, crossing in addition to all the information that you're not privy to, when perhaps you may have expected that people would be a bit more direct and a bit more forward, and they're not? So you're feeling like this right now? This is not a very nice state to be in. But because it's a 10, I like to look at the brighter side of things. A 10 means that it's something that you will eventually come out of, but it takes time to accumulate and to get to this state, though. Last month, mid-November, I remember a lot of characters creeping into your reading. A lot of people with very high influence being in the picture. And could it be now that you're having a lot of disagreements with these people, butting heads with them? And as a result of butting heads with all these people, they are now pointing their fingers and judging you. Like really judging you. The Judgment card has popped up here in the position of environmental influences. Judging, but you know, I like to see this Judgment card as rising, the rising of the phoenix and rising from the ashes. So even if there is a temporary stall as a result of disagreements, it's not something that you don't come out of with a lot more knowledge and feeling like you can definitely take on the next stage of your life in a more relieved fashion. So this is going on right now, and if this is actually happening right now around you, then it is tough. It's not very easy to overcome this very well. I mean, you don't overcome this in 24 hours. However, it is very much needed. Judgment doesn't pop out without a reason, you guys. So maybe you have been a little bit harsh and inconsiderate with certain things that you've said or how you've handled a situation, or simply not agreeing with the fact that things are not moving as fast as the Emperor would like. Why, Aries? But you know that you can't stay in this period for too long. It's not appropriate come this celebratory period of Christmas and New Year's, where everyone is expecting to get together and have fun and celebrate. This is in your hopes or fears section. I can't possibly see how this is a fear. This is definitely a hope. I would have to say that you are hoping that you're still going to be able to celebrate and come together with good intentions and good feelings with friends and family, despite anything right now that might be bothering you with this Ten of Swords. You're hoping that you can get over this quick enough to move on to this beautiful Three of Cups state of celebration. Okay. Your outcome card. Five of Pentacles. When this comes out, you know, when this pops up in a reading, and especially as an outcome card, sometimes it makes me feel that like the person who is receiving the reading is going to feel a bit too overwhelmed come the conclusion of things. And you might feel a little bit drained of your resources as a result of everything that's been happening or everything that will occur here now in December. Rushing to finalize things, rushing to finalize agreements. Ironically, these agreements are contradicting themselves. They might not be how you like them to be right now, but if it might feel like you have no choice. You have no choice because maybe you're outgunned. Maybe you're outgunned. So even though in the past you're sticking to your guns here, you're holding on to everything that you know in your heart and in your mind. You're resting on your laurels here, and you feel quite confident that you know what you have. The Emperor always knows what he has and always wants to continue in this structured manner. It's a bit of a heartache, and it's a bit difficult right now if you're coming across, you know, like all these people in a way that might not be agreeing with them, it's not appealing with them, and a lot of judgment is happening as a result of this. And that can be quite difficult, of course, Aries. It's very difficult. So if you feel overwhelmed in your outcome as a result of this, I wouldn't be surprised, especially if you have to tone it down a bit now. And you have to, you know, put all of that aside, celebrate and have some fun and be merry, merry, merry. Might leave you feeling a little bit drained in the end. I really want you guys to definitely take a closer look at all the contradictions that are happening. Because it might also be past troubles lurking right now in your present state, coming back. So things in business or even things in your personal relationships that you might have thought you got away with, like you dodged a bullet in the past, it's kind of like karma coming back and saying, no, I'm sorry. But if you thought you got away with it, you haven't, and you have to deal with this. And you have to deal with this before the year ends so that you can move on to 2017 with a fresh slate. A fresh slate and no karma and no lessons that you still have to learn from the past 2016 and everything that's been happening. It's like you don't know that you have to do this. You don't know that you have to face your fears, face your demons. If you were able to stall them and postpone them for a while, you can't do this for any longer, Aries. You can't, and you're just going to have to face them. You're going to have to deal with them. If you don't deal with them, then this Five of Pentacles is going to be too overwhelming as an outcome. And so overwhelming that it doesn't bear good news for you on a material level. Material level can be career, it can be finances and valuables and assets, basically not going as you would like them to go. Okay, let's try and clarify. Try and clarify the Moon cards. And of course the Temperance card after that. So okay. You have three cards that have come out here. The Eight of Pentacles, a hard worker and someone who is really proud of all the things that they've produced at their work, and someone who's willing to put in so much effort to make things right. It's someone who is willing to go the extra mile and to push forward to ensure their success is gained. Even though they feel very overwhelmed and there's a lot of burden on your shoulders. It's not an easy weight to carry whatsoever. But you have to remain strong and passionate and act fast with this King of Wands here. I mean, this King of Wands is very much, it can be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. I feel that this is very much you still sitting on that throne, you know, not willing to give up your position as the Emperor here. But if you take a closer look at this King of Wands, you know, he's ready to act. He's ready to get up from his throne. It's not like I'm ready to wage war, no, but I'm ready to act because I know that, I'm confident enough to do this. This person is not someone who's afraid of having the unknown in their surroundings. They're not afraid. They're still willing to move forward. And I feel this way for you guys more because you have the Star card here. The Star card of healing, the Star card of hope and optimism. Although when this card does come up, there is always a reason for it, in the sense that you wouldn't have to feel hopeful if you didn't feel like you were lacking something here. So this is in your head and in your thoughts, basically, that you know that the best way to overcome a situation like this is to remain as the king of wands, basically, who does act fast, who is passionate, very noble figure. People do look up to this king figure here. You're willing to put in the hard work. I see this with these two cards. You're willing to put in all the hard work. It's not going to be easy because this is a card of oppression. So yes, you are definitely facing forces who are coming against you. I don't know if there's anything additional for this Temperance card, because 3 cards pop out to clarify the moon. I feel like these 3 cards also have a lot to say about Temperance being in the reverse. It's saying whether or not you like it, the only way around this is to continue being strong and to continue your hard work and and all the effort that you've been putting. Clarify the Temperance card. Okay. Cards wanting to flip. With the Chariot here, this is the only way that you can move forward and that you can move towards your kingship as usual, and to overcome the obstacles is basically to keep trudging forward. But when you have the Chariot, then success, I don't want to say is guaranteed as long as you do this, but it is just to say that it's not going to be an easy road. You're not going to overcome this very quickly. There are going to be some obstacles, but the Chariot and the person who is riding this Chariot is someone who definitely does overcome these obstacles and does so in a very noble way, very much like the King of Wands. This is a person who realizes that it doesn't matter if in the past you've had people come and praise you and treat you like a king. This person works their way up to kingship. He or she is not born a king. He or she earns their way to this. So like I said, if there were things that you postponed in the past, if there was a situation that you thought you successfully dodged, it's coming back around now to challenge you. It's coming back around now to challenge you and tell you that you are not done with this situation and that you're going to have to earn your status. You're going to have to earn your reputation as a king, as someone who is successful. And the only way to do that is to overcome the obstacles that come your way. That's to clarify Temperance in reverse. And if you do that, you will be successful, of course. Clarify this Ten of Swords here, which I don't like for you guys, or for anyone really. Six of Pentacles here. Earth sign, Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, someone who's extremely generous and giving. It can also be like a very a fatherly figure. The Emperor is also very much like a father figure, in the sense that he wants to make people feel like that they've got, wow, that he has their back, basically. Like there's nothing for those people to worry about. And if you're feeling like this right now, it might indicate to me that in your present situation, you might be finding it a bit difficult to do this for others. You might be finding it difficult to provide for others. Not necessarily giving people money here, even this person is distributing their cash and their money, and they're not even thinking so much about their wealth, by the way. This person's not so wealthy, but this person is just generous and wants to give regardless of their present situation allowing for it to happen. But it might be here that you're not feeling very capable of this right now, and that's what's causing you to feel all this hurt. Could be that you're not feeling as successful as you usually do, like, and when you are usually feeling very successful, then you are grateful for it, and as a result of experiencing gratitude, you want to give. But right now you can't do this for one reason or another. You can't do this, and that might also be the reason why you're receiving a lot of judgment in your environment, and that's not very fair. Like, whoever is pointing their fingers and saying, you know, who's expected more from you, and maybe you let them down, not cool. What is all this judgment? What is all this judgment? What do you say about the Judgment card? The King of Pentacles in reverse here. You are being judged for not being able to do this. You are being judged for not being able to give too much of yourself right now. The King of Pentacles being flipped upside down right now is someone who's just incapable of being their full potential at the moment. And you're receiving judgment for this. Oh, I don't like that, you guys. Take a look at your overall outcome here, the Five of Pentacles, which sometimes foretells material troubles. This Five of Pentacles have to say. What can we say about this Five of Pentacles for Aries, males and females, this month of December 2016? What can we say about... Oh. Far too many cards, though, flipped here. Too many cards flipped here. The Ace of Pentacles here is basically saying that there's going to be a new start for you at some point in the coming future. The Ace of Pentacles is a very favorable card, and it's really nice to see this card come and basically challenge this Five of Pentacles here. Because I don't think that you accept to stay in this state for too long. If this does indicate that you lose a job, or you lose your status somehow, or you get pushed down a notch for whatever reason here. Sometimes this happens. It is purging the old again in order to allow room for the new to come in. And this might happen very fast. Actually, this might happen faster than you expect, and it's a blessing in disguise. So I wouldn't look at it as, you know, having 5 pentacles to start with and then dropping from that 5 to the 1 and then being left with just the 1. No, this is like felicity coming in. This is when the Ace of Pentacles pops up, there is an opportunity to feel content once again and have a new beginnings when it comes to money and finances and career. Because how it's looking here, Aries, is that you go from a state once upon a time as the emperor here in your foundation, as being able to provide and give and support, and doing this without even second guessing yourself, without even questioning whether or not you even have the resources, whether or not you're formidable enough to provide. So this person, he's just giving and not thinking too much of his present circumstance, which you can usually do when you're feeling very good about yourself. So going from this state, and usually being the King of Pentacles in the upright, yes, I realize we're still talking about, there's a lot of earth energy here, but I don't feel like these are characters in your surrounding more than they are describing your financial situation or your situation in business. So this King of Pentacles, although you may have gone from being this King of Pentacles, you're being flipped upside down and facing a lot of judgment and facing a lot of contradictions and facing a lot of like opposing forces who are somehow not agreeing and not happy with the fact that you are not feeling so up to doing this. Dropping in status until you feel so overwhelmed by all of this, so overwhelmed that you would much rather just leave the situation. And this is someone who also feels like they're being left out in the cold here, someone who's felt like that they've been used and then tossed out in the cold, and as a result of that, feeling extremely overwhelmed and basically on a new journey to find a new start in wealth and career and abundance of all those things, basically, with this Ace of Pentacles here. And you do this feeling hopeful and optimistic, and good on you for that. You don't let this weakness get the best of you, and it is a good time to face your fears, face your demons, and purge the weaknesses. Get rid of the weaknesses, Aries. So, bit of a heavy reading there. Bit of a heavy reading, I have to say. But at the bottom of the deck is this 4 of Wands here. So success and happiness and feeling a bit more fortunate will come. If it's a bit bleak right now, I'm very sorry for that. But it's not going to last like that forever. It really won't. The new year is just around the corner, you guys. With every down, an up must follow. So I hope that very much for you guys. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And if I don't see you mid-December for new messages that I would like to share with you guys, then I will definitely be seeing you in 2017. And I'm looking forward to it. So I hope you guys are as well. Let me know if you liked this Celtic cross, or if you prefer the general readings to be the way that they were mid-November. Thumbs me up. Thumbs me down. But be well, most of all. Bye, guys.